Hi there, it's Jennifer Nassy with ClearSkinDiva.com, and I am here today with a Q&A for you. I've had a couple of women in the community approach me about handling eczema, and specifically with their kids. Now, eczema affects a lot of people, so even if you're not a kid, even if this is for you or a loved one or a friend, stay tuned because these tips will be very helpful. So Ursula and Julie, this one is for you. Now, there's a lot to unravel when it comes to eczema, and I spend months helping people work through all of this, but I want to give you a window into some of the areas that you can look into because I know it's extremely frustrating when you're just given a cortisone cream, maybe told to do a bleach bath, and that's all the tools you got. So here's what I can share. When it comes to eczema, I guarantee there's gut healing that has to happen. Usually the lining has become permeable, things aren't getting broken down properly, proteins are getting into the bloodstream that aren't supposed to be there, and it's triggering an immune response and creating inflammation in the body, and this absolutely triggers eczema. So the places you want to start for that are a good probiotic. If you're looking for some suggestions, check out the blog under supplements. I have some of my favorites there for you. You're also going to want to look at an elimination diet. You're going to want to take out some of those top trigger foods. One of the big ones is gluten. We're going to be talking more about that later in the summer. But also dairy, corn, soy, eggs, those are all some of the big ticket triggers. So if it's overwhelming to try and take out all of those at once, pick one or two at a time, but really stick with it. You're not going to notice a difference if you're only doing it sometimes but not always, and maybe doing it at home but not when you go out, and then only doing it for a week and trying to put it back in. It's not enough time. You got to give your system a really good break, ideally about a month or more, before you're going to be able to see if there's any difference, or if you're reintroducing the food, if there's a reaction. So try and start, with one or two. Give it your best shot at keeping it out of there and see how that goes. If I had to pick two to start with, it would be gluten and dairy. You're also going to want to look at sugars in the diet because those are huge inflammatory drivers. So start by focusing on the processed sugars. See where you can put more natural sugars in the diet, and also look at getting out some of those refined products that behave like sugar in our bodies. So all the pastas, crackers, breads, cookies, cakes, all of those things. Again, just do what you can, but developing an awareness about that and trying to minimize how much of those are in the diet is going to be hugely helpful. You're also going to want to look at environmental triggers. There is definitely a link between environmental triggers and eczema. I can tell you when the gut is nice and strong, people tend to react less severely to those triggers in the environment. But it is an area you want to look. So what kind of materials are in the clothing that are touching the skin? What are you using for detergent, for soaps, shampoos, personal care products? What about outside in the environment? Where are the kids playing most often, or where are you most often that there might be a trigger? Now, I will say very quickly a word about allergy testing. Allergy testing can be extremely helpful in providing more information, but don't put all your eggs in that basket. It can be really great at identifying environmental triggers. Those types of allergic reactions tend to be pretty quick. But when we're looking at food reactions, those can take up to 72 hours to even show up. So a skin prick test is not going to do it for you. You can think about allergy testing sort of like a pregnancy test. If it comes back positive, then you know your body is definitely having a reaction. But if it comes back negative, that doesn't necessarily mean you're in the clear. So just know that there might be more work there to do for you. You're also going to want to look at stress. Now, when it comes to little ones, if they were just the free, beautiful little beings that they come into the world as, they'd have no stress. But our society, the way life works, just all of that creates stress for them, and they're not the best at handling it. So we've got to step in and help them. So take a look. Is there stress between you and your partner? Is there stress in the home? Is there stress at school? Are they not getting enough sleep? How can you help curb some of that stress? And if this is for you, how can you do this for yourself? So those are some places to start. Remember, this is something that I help unravel with clients over a long period of time. So be kind to yourself, be gentle, try and start with one or two things. I guarantee they are going to help, but you have to be patient, and it does take time. So keep peeling back the layers of that onion. Look at those different areas of the gut health, the stress, environmental triggers, foods, and just see where you can get started so that hopefully you can start experiencing some relief. Until next time, take care.